Have you ever looked at your life and asked, why did I have to go through that? Why did I have to lose those years? Why did I have to learn everything the hard way? Now, why did I have to experience rejection? Why did I have to fail publicly? Why did I have to carry something that nobody else could see? And maybe someone give you that easy Christian answer. God did it so I can have a testimony. Well, God did it so you can have a testimony. But I need to be careful with that statement though. I cannot say that God caused every wound. I cannot call betrayal good. I cannot call abuse good. I cannot call sin good, honestly. I cannot pretend that the pain did not hurt just because God later brought something beautiful from it. I cannot do that. I cannot do that. What wounded me is not greater than the one who redeemed me. What happened to me does not have more authority than Jesus. My failures does not get the final word. My pain does not get to name me or give me any identity, and neither does yours. That is what I see in Peter. Peter had just experienced the greatest catch of his life. The nets were breaking, the boats were sinking. Everything a fisherman would have wanted was sitting right in front of him, right in front of Peter. But Peter did not start counting fish. He fell at Jesus' knees, and he said, "Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Lord." Why, man? Why would he say that? Jesus had not accused him of anything. Jesus had not listed his failures at all. Jesus had not humiliated him in front of anybody. So why did Peter fall? Now, I believe that Peter fell because the closer Peter came to Christ, the more clearly Peter saw himself. And that made me ask myself, what would happen if Jesus exposed what is under the version of me that everybody else sees? People may see my strength, but can they see my fear? Now, people may see the job that I have. Can they see my insecurity? Now, people may see the marriage, the family, the uniform, the degree, the ministry, the smile. But can they see the part of me that still wanders? Lord, if you truly knew me, would you still stay? Have you ever felt that? Have you ever prayed, Lord, use somebody else? Lord, I have made so many mistakes. Lord, I'm not ready. Lord, I'm not educated enough. I don't have a degree. Lord, I'm not disciplined enough. Lord, you know where I came from. If somebody knows, it's you. But let me ask you something. How long are we going to keep telling Jesus why he cannot use us after he already called us? At what point does humility become an excuse? At what point does saying I'm not good enough stop sounding spiritual and starts becoming a disobedience? Now, Peter said, depart from me. Now, Jesus did not depart from him. Jesus said, do not be afraid. Peter thought that his sin meant Jesus would reject him. But Jesus was standing in Peter's boat, calling him closer. And I had to confront something in myself. Sometimes I say I am afraid of failing. But maybe I am really afraid of surrendering everything. Sometimes I say I'm not ready. But maybe I do not want to release control. Who wants to release control? Sometimes I keep talking about my past because my past gives me an excuse not to obey in the present. As long as I can say, you do not understand what happened to me, I never have to answer that question. What is Jesus asking me to do now? What is he asking me to do? Jesus looked at Peter and said, do not be afraid. From now on, you will catch people. From now on, those words cut deeply. Because Peter was looking backwards. Now Jesus was looking forward. Peter was talking about who he had been. Jesus was declaring what grace would transform him into. Now Peter saw everything that disqualified him. Jesus saw a man he was going to redeem, a man who he was going to train, and he was going to send. And maybe that is where I've been stuck. Maybe I have been introducing myself by an old chapter. I'm the one who failed. I'm the one who was abandoned. I'm the one whose family fell apart. I'm the one who struggled with addiction. I'm the one who made the terrible decisions. I am the one who wasted those years. But what happens when Jesus says, from now on? It does not mean past never happened. It means that past no longer has permission to control the direction of my life or your life. Then Jesus told Peter, you will catch people. And this is the part that became personal for me. Jesus did not throw away the fisherman. He redirected the fisherman. Peter understood long nights. He understood disappointments. He understood patience. He understood working while everyone was asleep. He understood casting a net in waters that he could not see. He understood repairing what he had torn. He understood coming home tired with nothing to show for his work. And Jesus took all that and placed it under a greater purpose. He did not say, Peter, everything you learned was useless, brother. He said, from now on, it will serve my kingdom. So I had to ask myself, what have I learned in the places I keep calling wasted? What did difficult job teach me? What did the rejection expose in me? What did the years of waiting develop in me? What did the caring for people teach me? What did being overlooked teach me? What did starting over teach me? Maybe you are a parent and you repeat yourself every day. You correct the same behavior. You answer the same question. You serve without applause. Have you called that ordinary? What if Christ is teaching you patience, sacrifice, and faithfulness when nobody is watching? Maybe you work with difficult people. Every day someone tests your attitude. Believe me, that happens. Every day you have the opportunity to react in anger. Have you only seen an annoying workplace? Have you only seen an annoying workplace? Or is Jesus exposing what still controls your heart? Maybe you are in the military. You learn discipline. You learn endurance. You learn how to keep moving when you are super tired. Will those qualities belong only to your profession? Or will you surrender them to Christ? Maybe you are studying nursing, working in healthcare. You have learned to walk into rooms where people are afraid, hurting, vulnerable. Could Jesus use that compassion beyond the hospital? Could he use you to notice the person everybody else walks past? Maybe you have suffered rejection. You know what it feels like to enter a room and feel invisible. Could that pain make you the first person to recognize someone else sitting alone? Maybe you struggled with something that filled you with shame. Could your story help you to speak to someone who believes they are beyond grace? Again, I'm not saying that the pain is good. All I'm saying is Jesus is good enough to redeem it. I'm not praising what happened. I'm not praising the one who did. I'm praising the one who did not let what happened to destroy the purpose he placed on my life or your life. And here is the good part. Stop using what happened yesterday as a permission to disobey Jesus today. Stop calling yourself by a name that Christ didn't give you. Stop saying, I'm only a fisherman. I'm only a parent. I'm only a student. I'm only a soldier. I'm only someone who had a bad past. Who told you only? Peter saw an ordinary fisherman. Jesus saw a disciple. Peter saw an empty night. Jesus saw endurance. Peter saw profession. Jesus saw preparation. Peter saw shame. Jesus saw, do not be afraid. Jesus said, do not be afraid. Peter saw his past. Jesus said, from now on. And I need to ask myself honestly, do I truly want Jesus to redeem my story? Or do I only want him to remove the consequences while allowing me to remain the same? Because redemption is not Jesus making my life or my old life more comfortable. Redemption is Jesus taking ownership of my whole life, my pain, my abilities, my profession, my history, my failures, my future, my everything. Peter could not keep the boat under his authority and follow Jesus at the same time, right? Now Luke says they left everything and followed him. That is where the conviction enters. It is one thing to say, Jesus, use my testimony. And it's another thing to say, Jesus, you can have the person who survived it. It is one thing to speak about redemption. It is another thing to surrender the part of our lives we have been protecting. Now, so let me ask you, what excuse are you still giving Jesus? What part of your story are you still using as a hiding place? What has he already told you to surrender? What steps of your obedience have you delayed because you keep telling yourself you are not ready? How many more years will you allow yesterday to steal from today? Peter said, depart from me. Now Jesus stayed. Peter said, I am a sinful man. Jesus said, do not be afraid. Peter looked backwards. Jesus said, from now on. That is grace. Grace does not pretend that everything is okay and that Peter was innocent. Grace refused to leave Peter where he found him. Jesus did not waste the fisherman. He redeemed him. And maybe the prayer is no longer, Lord, erase my story. Maybe the prayer is, Lord, take it. Take what hurt. Take what I learned. Take the years I thought were wasted. Take the discipline. Take the compassion. Take the scars. Take every excuse I have used to remain comfortable. Place all of it under your authority. I do not want my past to be my master. I want Jesus to be my Lord. Peter remained a fisherman in the way that he thought, endured, and worked. But now the fisherman belonged to Christ. And when the fisherman belonged to Jesus, nothing in his surrendered life was wasted. Think about it. God bless you.